My name is Dennis Bertram, and this is my little painting. I'm not going to talk about the painting as a painting. I'm going to talk about what this painting has meant to me. About 20 odd years ago, I did an artist residency in Wyoming at Gentile Foundation, which is about 15 miles outside of Sheridan, Wyoming. And it's a wonderful place to be for artists. You get a studio, you get living quarters, and you have a month to do what you like to do without the distractions of everyday life. And one of the studios, or empty rooms in the building where studios were located, had this bed in a corner, and that's all there was except some trash cans. And it fascinated me, so I took a photo of it and filed it away. Then a couple of years ago, I decided to take the image back and make a painting of it, which is what I did. And that was pretty much the end of that. But that's not the end of the story. Yes, what it did for me is it provided an opportunity to remember how nice it was to be in Wyoming and to have this artist residency. But recently, I did something in addition. I entered this into a different exhibition. Now, when I was a kid, I went to grade school and high school where there was no art teaching. And in college, I only took one course. So for the next 30 years, even though I was interested in art, I didn't do any of it. But about the late 1990s, and me being a late bloomer, started to take some studio courses in my spare time at Buffalo State College, now Buffalo State University. And one of the instructors said, well, you know, you got to get involved in the art world. You got to join societies, and you got to show your stuff. And by the way, you could enter it into the Erie County Fair. Which kind of surprised me because my understanding of fairs was it was an agricultural, animal husbandry type of an experience. And I remember when I was in high school, there were some kids in the school who were in 4-H, and they did a lot of wonderful things with animals, and they seemed to enjoy it and learn a lot, and I was envious of that. But we weren't a farm family, we lived in the city. So I decided to, okay, I'll take the instructor advice up and I'll enter Erie County Fair. And so the last time I entered a show at the Erie County Fair was in 2024, and I entered this little painting. And lo and behold, to my surprise, it was in the professional section of creative arts, painting. I got best of show. Now you never know what judges like or don't like. But anyway, so I got my ribbon, which was great because it made me feel like, okay, I'm doing 4-H, better late than never. And so I enjoyed that. But in addition to getting the ribbon, all the individuals who got best of show in the different sections of the creative arts at the Erie County Fair were treated to a wonderful luncheon at the Erie County Fair, which was great because you met some nice people, had great spread of food. And so a nice memory. But not only that, on top of that, I got they gave some little gifts. I had a prescription Buffalo Spree magazine, some tickets to a theater, and on top of that, a one-night stay with dinner and breakfast included at Russell Salvatore's Grand Hotel. So my wife and I went for the hotel stay. We went to the dining room. We started to have our drinks, and lo and behold, Mr. Salvatore comes over and he says, hey, I have some better seats for you. And so he escorted us to a better seating area in the restaurant. So bottom line, this little painting brings back wonderful memories for me of Wyoming, wonderful time I had at the Erie County Fair, and a mini vacation for myself and my wife at Salvatore's Grand Hotel, and got to meet Mr. Russell Salvatore for the first time in my life. So that's the reason that I like this painting, and I call it my memento because of the memories that it brings back to me. Might be considered a very inconsequential painting, but it's the meaning behind it for me that treasures this painting. And that is the story behind that little painting.